Night City, dude. I'm hyped. I'm so hyped. Let's get into this bad boy. This game is insane. It's insane. Wow. This game is so crazy. I don't even know what to say. It's so crazy.
Cyberpunk 2077 launched on December 10th, 2020. This was still in the rather difficult pandemic era of lockdowns and loneliness, when all people really had to look forward to was whatever they could experience in their own households. By this time, much of the underlying issues that riddled Cyberpunk were first starting to become noticeable. The game had been delayed not once, not twice, but 3 times throughout 2020, setting a new precedent for video game development and early release windows. Today, however, it has an immense following. Even for the uninitiated, Cyberpunk 2077 proves rewarding. Patch after patch, developers CD Projekt Red have holistically revamped and updated the experience by a wide margin. Now sure, some problems still exist, but not every game is going to be perfect. As someone who is exceedingly excited to dive into this amazing world, so much so that I prematurely named it the Game of the Generation, now a consistent joke amongst my friends, it was especially devastating to watch it brutalized across the internet. Of course, the complaints were absolutely founded. I feel most of all for those who played on last-gen systems. But at least CDPR has yet to give up on the title, and is pushing headlong into a new realm of hype and adoration. With Cyberpunk Edgerunners, creator Rafal Jaki has delivered a raw depiction of Night City through the eyes of an adolescent teen with immense underlying potential. This show is everything I ever wanted from Cyberpunk 2077, and it amplifies the game world tenfold. You don't have to be a Cyberpunk fan. You don't even have to have played the game to enjoy this utter masterpiece. It speaks for itself quite loudly. And although it doesn't erase the negatives wrought by its predecessor, Edgerunners still evokes that special something that Cyberpunk is. That raunchy, neon-lit, in-your-face, no fucks given approach to storytelling. Shit happens, and nobody cares. Welcome back to Night City. I hope you enjoyed your stay as much as I did. Herein lies the brilliance of Netflix and CDPR's most recent Cyberpunk undertaking, and how it truly uplifts the IP for a brighter future. Don't worry, no major spoilers ahead. Strap on your beady headsets, and follow me as we dive into the neon-drenched realms of Edgerunners Night City. Cyberpunk Edgerunners isn't one of those lousy anime tie-in experiences. In fact, interestingly, we've been getting some hot pieces of gaming animation specifically out of Netflix. It seems they know what they're doing over there, and it shows most plainly with Edgerunners. Given I'm no fan of League of Legends or Castlevania, I can't speak for those series, but I must admit, the Witcher anime that dropped last year is yet another testament to Netflix's newfound guise in video gaming anime tie-ins. Known for the likes of Kill la Kill, Little Witch Academia, and Promare, Studio Trigger has taken its know-how to the next level. Even specialized anime YouTuber Giguk agrees, calling Edgerunners the studio's best work yet. I understand the animation style may not be for everyone, but trust me when I say it's phenomenal. Backgrounds are littered with detail. Kills are gory as ever. Nudity is certainly gratuitous, But it all works in the context of this cyberpunk-based story. This is, after all, Night City, a character all its own, one that Trigger has brought to life in such an amazingly elegant way, all through the confines of a young boy straddling the edge of maturity. With Edgerunners, Studio Trigger has opted to go above and beyond with its style and subject matter. It's got this visual pizzazz, feeling like a blend between the original FLCL, otherwise known as Fooly Cooly, and Ghost in the Shell, given its subject matter, with just a hint of Zero Experiments Lane baked in. The soundtrack and songs throughout the series absolutely slap. I'll bump a few of the songs throughout the video and leave a playlist in this vicinity or whatever to give you perspective of how the music uplifts the show, telling its own beautiful story through the melody format. Sound effects too were brought over from the game, like phone calls and hacking. Video game designs were also baked into the animation style, with UI UX designer Arash Naderi thanking his team on Twitter for their lovely work. While it certainly helps to have played Cyberpunk 2077, as these details certainly elevate the watching experience, it's not a necessity to fall in love with this anime. But I do hope that after having watched Edgerunners, more people dive in, especially with the game's DLC soon approaching. Overall, Studio Trigger has absolutely outdone themselves with the artistic flavor of Edgerunners, and the many glowing reviews, almost as bright as Night City itself, speak for themselves. The show drops you right into the action, all while perpetuating the sly wink at the game. You're met with a young David Martinez, an adolescent street kid whose mother is clearly struggling to make ends meet. Off the bat, you're already feeling for this kid. His loneliness in school and at home speak volumes of the kind of life he and his mother share. But following the sudden death of his mother, David is no sooner thrust into a life of petty criminality, as Arasaka heavyweights grow interested in his implants and subsequent abilities. These circumstances make him, as he himself puts it,
high time I chrome the fuck up,
with a military-grade piece of hardware that essentially puts 20 points into the body tree, if we're talking Cyberpunk 2077 perk terms. In an interview that was live-streamed on Twitch a day before the show aired, writer and producer of the series' first episode, Bartosz Stajsbor, explained that Edgerunners creators really loved Martin Scorsese vibes, adding that they wanted to have something from his movies baked into the show. I absolutely love this analogy. And the idea is perpetuated in the gruesome details displayed across the many deaths that grace the screen. Throughout David's adventure, you learn more about this breathtaking yet extremely violent world, meeting such awesome characters as Lucy, Maine, Rebecca, Kiwi, Falcon, and Faraday. Each one adds their own unique flavor to the show and are exceptionally well acted, with Giancarlo Esposito's Faraday standing out as an immediate hallmark. Everything costs money in this world, from laundry machines to hospital visitations. The series writers do well in making the hardships feel real and painful. At times I even stirred in my seat. This is a show not for the faint of heart. It will tear you apart and put you right back together through the power of emotion, detailed artistry, and unparalleled music choices. Charlie, aka Penguin Zero, aka Moist Critical, brings up a valid point in his own review video that Edgerunners has a lot of its story beats condensed at certain points to speed up the plot and fit its 10-episode runtime. This isn't detrimental to the overall experience, but it does highlight how Edgerunners could have been even more exciting and fleshed out had they gone with an extra few episodes as opposed to a mere 10. It's a minor complaint, but a valid one nonetheless. For a first-time writer and producer, though, Raphael Jockey knocked Edgerunners out of the park. He, of course, was helped by the talented names of Yoshiki Usa and Masahiko Otsuka of Star Wars Visions fame. I'm sorry if I butchered those names, really. I applaud them and the entire team that helped create this anime story, as it moved me in ways I have not felt in a long time. Edgerunners is both heartfelt and brutal when it needs to be, hitting you straight in the chest, in rapid succession. Literally.
Nothing like the Strong Arms 400 to bring out the best in your kung fu chipware. Organic Knuckles? Seriously? Want to try me again? I suggest you pack some serious chrome. Or just drop out. You know what I prefer.
In its culmination, my jaw was stuck to the floor. Edgerunners takes its premise to the very rooftops of Night City, and well beyond, tugging at your heartstrings with the grace and style of Johnny Silverhand himself. Reviews across the board are quite stellar. In Camboli Campbell's review for Polygon, he cites the ability to depict the psychological unmooring of its characters without feeling inauthentic as being the strongest point of the show. He adds, Cyberpunk Edgerunners is easily the most exciting thing to come out of the game's redemption arc. Jess Reyes over at Inverse got to experience several bits of Edgerunners early amid PAX West, highlighting how the show depicts David's impoverished setting as being exceptionally noteworthy and well captured, adding on that the show's NSFW storytelling is grimmer than most anime. Jess writes, most anime series pretend this kind of stuff just doesn't exist, or if it does, it's only alluded to in some kind of artsy way, like Neon Genesis Evangelion. Here, we meet an underground doctor that spends too much time jacking off to VR porn. The myriad jokes spelled out throughout the series are so on point. Today, we get too much of these cringe, wannabe try-hard comedians in games and entertainment writing. But with Edgerunners, you're laughing with the best of them. Hell, they even poke fun at Cyberpunk 2077's own glitches, i.e., Maine's joke about cops appearing out of thin air in the middle of a shootout. On-the-nose subtleties like this are absolutely superb, and Edgerunners nails the vibe beautifully. In its delivery, Edgerunners uplifts the game in many ways, capturing the seedy underbelly that Night City so perpetuates and breeds upon. Even if you haven't played 2077, you'll still enjoy Edgerunners, but I must admit that it'll be made all the more enjoyable having had that experience in your rear view. Maybe more people will dive into Cyberpunk. Obviously, that's the point. And I think it should work in CDPR's favor. Yes, the game launched in a rather terrible state, but it's come a long way. Don't take it from me. Take it from one of my best friends, Luke Lashak, who recently platinumed Cyberpunk after falling head over heels for the game. In his own words, he tells me, I thought the feeling of awe when I left Megaton and Fallout 3 to see an immense world of possibilities and stories could not be replicated. Cyberpunk 2077 surpassed that feeling. Night City is a complex organism that I adored getting to understand and was riveted by my ability to control more and more as I progressed in the game. The characters in the game were real enough to care about, leveling up and finding a combo of skills that worked for me, and playing through every possible ending really defied the competition for all next-gen games, aside from Elden Ring. And on that note, maybe some of the characters from the anime will make cameos in the DLC, or get name-dropped in some capacity, namely Giancarlo Esposito's Faraday. Here's to hoping. And for much more out of this anime IP itself. As Reddit user Murderous Hippie writes, it would be pretty cool if they continued Edgerunners and made it into like an anthology series. Every season would be about new characters and stories based in Night City. Do you agree? Let me know in the comments section down below, and let me know how you felt about the series overall. Was it up to your liking, or did it not meet your expectations? And does it make you want to revisit or even start for the first time CDPR's highly criticized experience? In the end, We are all mere puppets in this grand universe, to an end we know not but to keep going. Thus, I say as I always do, don't drown out there, fam. Keep your head held high, and maybe one day, we'll all make it to the moon.
Another evening I'll be sitting reading in between your lines, because I miss you all the time. So